I was once called gay for liking Care Bears. I still remember the day in school when my friends found out that I love Care Bears and pink. They laughed and called me gay. And I was so embarrassed that I stopped talking about it altogether. But here's the truth, I still love Care Bears. It was my favorite cartoon growing up. I have a soft spot for Tenderheart Bear, Wish Bear and Chem Bear. And I especially love it when it all comes together to do the iconic Care Bear stare! And it always felt like love defeating hate. You know, sometimes I wish government leaders would actually just sit down and watch the cartoon together. These days, I do not hide what I like anymore. In fact, I share my love for Care Bears openly with all my students, and that's probably why I end up receiving a lot of Care Bear gifts at the end of my speeches. This is exactly how I got this Carolot Bear gifted by Miki, a student of mine who teaches non-violent communication. Quite fitting, right? I also recently had this very cute bedtime bear from Carrie. I have a lot of Care Bear merchandise. And most recently, someone gave me a Smiggable Care Bear mystery box, which I'm going to open right in front of all of you, okay? See, there's 8 that you can collect over here. I don't know which one I want, but to me, I like all the Care Bears, so it really doesn't matter which one I get. Alright, so, ooh, so exciting! Okay, how to open? Okay. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh my god! Grumpy Bear! Hey, you know, he may be very grumpy, but he's always full of love and he's the mechanic of the group, right? So, yay! Okay, smile, Grumpy Bear. I love it. Thank you so much. So yes, I am 45 years old this year and I still love Care Bears very much. Are you a Care Bear fan too? Who's your favorite Care Bear? Share with me in the comment section. Maybe we could start a Care Bear confession club. I walked away from a career I spent 20 years building without knowing what would replace it. And it all started because I met her.
Your time is running out.
And she said something that I could not ignore. She said, Eric, you're not doing what you're actually meant to do. You have a life mission. You cannot ignore your life mission. And I found out that my life mission was actually to awaken people, to raise their consciousness, to help them step into their own calling. At that point, I didn't even know how. I wasn't deep into spirituality. I didn't have a plan. So I asked her, but I don't know how. And she said, the how is not the problem. The real question is, are you willing? Now, here's a little bit of context if you are knowing me for the first time. I've been a professional speaker for almost 2 decades, traveling the world, teaching personal branding. But in the last few years, I wasn't enjoying myself as much as before. And something in me knew that this might be my chance to step into something a lot more aligned, a lot more meaningful, a lot more me. And so I said, yes. And yes meant action. So I deleted 7 years of my social media content, stepped away from my speaking career, ended old partnerships, no backup plan, no guaranteed next step, just faith. And I was told that if you step into what you're meant to do, the help you need will come. A month later, it did, thankfully. An old classmate I haven't spoken to almost 20 years reached out. We met, connected. Weeks later, I found myself in Japan, meeting Marie Kondo. She was building the Joy movement with her husband, and it was meant to be done globally. And I was invited to be part of it. And that's when I was honestly quite amazed. If I had stuck with my old job, I would not have said yes to the meeting, I would not have met her, I would not have taken up this amazing, amazing opportunity. I remembered that because my life mission was to awaken people, to raise consciousness, I knew this was exactly what I meant to do. In fact, it did not even feel random. It felt so aligned. It's only been a few months since I stepped into this new role, but something has shifted in me. Conviction has returned, flow has returned, joy has returned. Not because life suddenly became easy, but because I stopped building a life that wasn't truly mine. And when I look back now, you know, all the stagnation I went through, the dissatisfaction, even the 6-figure loss, they weren't punishment. They were just redirection. Because if you are a person with a calling, you cannot sustain playing small. Eventually, life will disrupt what is comfortable until you step in to what you're meant for. So please do not wait for life to force your hand. If you know it's time, if you know you're a person with a calling, you're a 天命人, comment ready and watch what moves towards you when you do. Your life sucks and it might not be your fault. Maybe it is your dad's fault. Let me explain. So this morning, I saw a video of a dad and his kids playing the step forward game. Every time the kids step forward for a happy memory, he would stay behind. Until this one line. Step forward if you had to work at the age of 8 to support your family. And that was when he moved. And by then, the kids totally get it. And he ran back to hug him, you know, because they realized that their dad gave them the childhood that he never had. And I was very moved as well when I saw that video, because to me, it wasn't just love that I saw the end of generational trauma. And it's quite sad, you know, to say this, but not all our parents knew how to end theirs. I mean, take my parents, for example. My dad was the naughty one in the family of 4. His dad, which is my grandpa, never believed in him. And he made it painfully clear that my dad would never amount to anything. Gosh, and that left such a deep wound of unworthiness, one that my dad had carried for many, many years. And like many unhealed wounds, it didn't disappear, it transferred to me, became my inheritance. In my dad's defense, he has never ever said to me, "You're not good enough." But I felt it in the way he responded to my mistakes, in how he pushed me to be better, but he struggled to tell me that I was already good. In how his love sometimes feel like something I have to earn, And that's how I feel that the "I'm not good enough" script got passed down to me. And I tried to fix it the only way I knew. I achieved, I performed, I tried to be a somebody. But no matter how many milestones I hit, deep down inside, I still felt like I wasn't good enough for my dad. And it took years of inner work to start healing that unworthiness script. And by inner work, I mean sitting with the pain instead of running away from it, tracing my patterns back to their roots and understanding who taught me what to believe. And then slowly, gently, I started rewriting my story that I was handed but never asked for. Now I'm still on that journey of healing because there are still so many unhappy scripts that I have inherited from my parents, my teachers, society even. But here's what I've learned. When we do the inner work, we're not just changing our own lives. We are breaking patterns that have shaped generations. For our kids, so that they don't grow up carrying the same fears and pressures. For our partners, so that love feels safer, softer, more secure. And for our team members, so that we as leaders lead with trust, not control. And for all our community as well, so that we build spaces where people feel seen, not judged. So if you have been thinking about starting your inner work, this is your sign. You're not behind at all, you're right on time. And every time you choose healing over hiding, you make your future feel a little brighter for everyone. Please like me. The first time I spoke on a big stage, I was happy. I didn't care if the audience liked me, didn't worry about frameworks or feedback. I was just being myself. I made a promise to myself and I said, I'll never ever let anyone look down on my mother or father. Fast forward many years later, I was on an even bigger stage, getting paid a lot more money, speaking to a much larger audience. But this time, I was miserable. I couldn't sleep for weeks. Preparation felt torturous. I kept rewriting my script, thinking about how I would be judged, wondering if I would ever be good enough. Somewhere at the back of my mind, it wasn't "this is me" anymore. It became "please like me." On the actual day, when I was on that bigger stage, I was struggling. No matter how hard I tried to make the audience like me, I couldn't. Halfway through, I was just hoping that time would pass very, very fast so that I could leave the stage and bury myself in a hole. When it ended, I felt relieved. Then came the next speaker. He had only been speaking for a few years, so he's considered my junior. He was relaxed, he was speaking from the heart, he was clearly enjoying himself on stage. And the same difficult audience loved him. And that was when it hit me. I used to be like him. But somewhere along the way, I lost that version of myself. I stopped speaking to express. I started speaking to impress. And the more I tried to be like, the less I actually connected with my audience. So my friend, consider this video a warning. If you are building a career, a business, or you are even trying to be someone in the world, yes, improve. Yes, raise your standards. But once in a while, check in with yourself. Are you still showing up as you? Or are you becoming someone you think people will like? Because the moment you start trying to impress, you lose what people were drawn to you in the first place. The real you. Have you ever felt like you have achieved what you once wanted, but it still doesn't feel the way you thought it would? The dream job, the big title, the money, the recognition. Like on paper, everything looks fine. People may even tell you that you should be grateful, but inside, there is still this emptiness, like even after achieving it, something is still missing. If this is you, it doesn't mean that you're ungrateful. It may simply mean that you have succeeded at something that was never truly yours. Sometimes the emptiness is not a lack of success, it's a lack of alignment. A sign that your soul is asking for something deeper, something truer, something more you. If this resonates, you may be awakening to your Tianming. Follow this social media account to rediscover what you are truly meant for.